Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Star Flames and we are back with another video. Now, while Kylie has been out there, being stiff and dead, people are getting abused in her house and she has no idea what is going on in her household. Or at least according to Miss Angélica Vasquez, a Salvadorian who worked as a housemaid for Kylie Jenner, who is now suing Kylie because she's saying that Kylie's head housekeeper, Patsy, and another woman by the name of Elsi, they subjected her to severe and pervasive harassment. Not only that, she is saying that she had a hanger thrown at her once when she was being reprimanded. Now, as I've said, Kylie is the defendant in the lawsuit, but the allegations being levied, they're not against Kylie, but it's Kylie's staff, and as such, Kylie has to take the blame, right, in this case. Now, I don't know what's going to happen to Miss Angélica Vasquez because this is why a lot of people who works with celebrities, they never speaks. They wait until retirement or they wait until that celebrity is getting canceled and there's a Me Too movement. They'll come out and speak. And oftentimes they never say anything because they know you will be blackballed. Even though you're not in the wrong, these celebrities, it's like they have a cult. If you take legal actions, even if you're 100% correct, even if it is the case of a sexual assault, you get blackballed, you get blacklisted, you can never work amongst the rich and famous ever again, and you're gonna have to settle for something that pays a lot less. Now, make no mistakes. These housemaids and housekeepers, you may think that they earn minimum wage. They earn a little change. Absolutely not. They oftentimes earn a pretty penny. Good money with good benefits oftentimes. So, as such, we're going to hear about these things happening occasionally. But I want to tell you that it happens so often, more than we can even imagine. But it's just that these people who suffers from these experiences, they are afraid to come forward because when they do, they get attacked. They get, powed down by these celebrities, powerful attorneys, and oftentimes nothing becomes of this case. But Angélica Vasquez, she seems to be either A, brave enough to be stepping forward, or she might still be new and not even completely aware that she can get blacklisted and blackballed from Hollywood just for standing up for herself and speaking her truth. Now, we're gonna get into this report regarding the lawsuit, right? So, according to legal docs, and this report is coming from TMZ, the lawsuit was filed last week in Los Angeles, again by a woman by the name of Angélica Vasquez. TMZ pulled the lawsuit. They're saying that Angélica claims she started working for Kylie as a housekeeper at her Beverly Hills residence on September 10th, 2024, and then was moved to her Hidden Hills residence 1 week later, where she was reported to she reported to a woman named Elsi and head housekeeper Patsy. Angélica claims she was treated with hostility and exclusion as soon as she began her employment, and so she's saying that as soon as she began her employment, she faced hostility and exclusion. She dealt with the hostility and exclusion, she's saying, because of her race, national origin, and religious beliefs. She was belittled and humiliated in front of co-workers because of her race, her national origin, and her religious beliefs. She was told Catholics aren't good people. And she was also mocked or intimidated about her immigration status. She also claims comments were made to her that alluded to people of her background being deported from America. In addition to the alleged bullying, Angélica claims she was assigned the worst task, purposely excluded from housekeeping team, and had a finger snapped at her and was shouted at routinely, even claims a supervisor threw hangers at her while reprimanding her on one occasion after she complained about the treatment. Honey, when I'm telling you that this goes down more than we think, it happens more than you can ever imagine. Now, Angélica alleges that she developed anxiety and symptoms consistent with post-traumatic stress disorder due to the working conditions which got her bullied further, and says she eventually had to resign in August of 2025. So she started working September 10th, 2024, had to resign August 2025 when she says her complaint went unaddressed, right? Angélica is seeking damages for unpaid wages, emotional distress, and more. Plus, she wants punitive damages. Sources familiar with Kylie household tells TMZ the plaintiff was a junior housekeeping employee who had attendance issues, among other workplace concerns. Notably, none of these allegations seems directly targeted at Kylie, more so her staff and her failure to address complaints and concerns, though the mogul is listed as the defendant. Now guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Chances are none of these complaints got to Kylie because these people who work for Kylie, they don't want to be seen as incompetent. Now, let's take, for example, you have the head of the house. The head of the house is responsible for the housekeepers, the chefs, and everyone, right? The gardener, everyone. Now, above the head of the house, you'll have one other person, and that person is like HR. And normally, you escalate to that person if you're having a problem with the head of the house. But you cannot escalate beyond that person. It is that person who has to escalate on your behalf. And oftentimes, that person, they never escalate beyond themselves because they don't want any problems. They don't want to be seen as not being in control, and they don't want anything to jeopardize their job. So they will intentionally ignore this woman's claims. They will ignore her genuine concerns, and they will push her to the point of resignation. So I believe Angélica Vasquez. I definitely 100% believe her. But I'm hoping that, if her allegations are in fact factual, as she claims, she gets the justice that she deserves, because if she loses the suit, oftentimes we see these celebrities demanding their legal fees be paid, and oftentimes, not just that, these people get blacklisted. She may have to settle for other jobs that do not pay as much as these jobs with celebrities. So a lot comes with these territories. A lot comes with working for a celebrity. You could get one job with a celebrity, and that could potentially ruin your entire career, your entire life. And this is why, no matter how good the money is, a lot of people will never work with these celebrities. Also, those who works with these celebrities, no matter how horrible the experience is, they will never talk about it. They move on and they hold their head down some of them do have plans to step forward one day, when they retire, and there could be, and you can't blacklist them or blackball them. But for now, while they're still actively working, they bite their lips and they keep moving forward. But Miss Angélica Vasquez, she's stepping out, and that is brave and bold of her. And I do hope that justice is served. But let me know what you guys think. Do you believe the allegations? Because she's not accusing Kylie. She's accusing the head of the house and the other house staff. And this story of Angélica Vasquez, it is so common more than how it isn't common. So I believe her. I believe it could even be half true. Maybe not entirely factual, but even half true. I definitely believe her. But let me know what you guys think, and we're gonna talk some more in the comment section. Peace.